The blade hummed in my hand, defying the gravity of 1,000 worlds as the alien priest's eyes widened in holy terror, because I, a nobody from Earth's forgotten junkyards, had just picked it up like it was yesterday's trash. I stood there in the cavernous temple of Zorath Prime, the air thick with incense that smelled like burning circuits and forgotten dreams. The priest, a towering figure cloaked in iridescent robes that shifted colors like oil on water, raised his clawed hands toward the domed ceiling where holographic stars swirled in eternal patterns. His voice echoed through the chamber, a guttural chant that translated in my neural implant as, "Only the gods may wield the blade of eternity. Mortals who dare touch it are consumed by the void." But here I was, Jake Harlan, ex-scavenger from the slums of New Detroit, holding the damn thing without so much as a spark. It was lightweight, almost too perfect, with runes glowing faintly along its edge. I'd found it buried in a rusty container at a yard sale back on Earth, some old lady's estate sale, piled with broken toasters and faded holovids. Paid 5 credits for the lot, thinking it was a prop from some ancient vid show. Now, on this alien rock light years away, it was supposed to be divine? What a joke. The crowd of pilgrims, scaled beings with eyes like polished obsidian, gasped in unison, their murmurs rippling like a wave. The priest stepped forward, his face contorting in what I guessed was rage or awe. "Blasphemer, how do you defy the prophecy?" he demanded, his voice booming off the walls etched with stories of cosmic wars. I shrugged, twirling the blade, casually. "This? From a yard sale container. Lady said it was her grandpa's old letter opener." But as the words left my mouth, a chill ran down my spine. Why did it feel warm now, like it was waking up? And why were the stars above us flickering unnaturally? That was only the beginning. The priest's name was Vexlar, High Oracle of the Zorathian Faith, Guardians of the Galaxy's most sacred relics. He'd summoned me here after my ship, the Rusty Nomad, pinged their orbital scanners with an anomalous energy signature. I'd been hauling scrap from the outer colonies, dodging pirate raids and fuel shortages when the blade started acting up mid-jump. Lights flickering, engines surging like they'd tapped into some infinite power source. I thought it was a glitch until the Zorathians tractored me in. Now, in the temple's heart, Vexlar circled me like a predator. His skin shimmered under the artificial light, veins pulsing with bioluminescent fluid. "The blade chooses its wielder," he intoned. "But you are no god. You are human." The word dripped with disdain, as if we were pests infesting the stars. I pocketed the blade. Wait, no, it wouldn't let go. My fingers stuck to the hilt like magnetic glue. Panic flickered in my chest. But I played it cool. "Look, buddy, I'm just a guy trying to make a living. If this thing's yours, take it back." I held it out, but he recoiled, his robes fluttering. The prophecy speaks of a harbinger from the void, one who lifts the blade without divine blood. You herald the end or the rebirth. His eyes narrowed. "Tell me, human, what do you know of the ancients?" Ancients? Sounded like more religious mumbo-jumbo, but something in his tone made my gut twist. I'd heard whispers in spacer bars about lost civilizations, tech that could rewrite reality. Was this blade one of their toys? And why me? What I didn't know, then, was that lifting it had already set the stars on fire. Vexlar led me deeper into the temple, past murals depicting battles where gods clashed with machines. The air grew cooler, laced with the hum of hidden generators. Guards flanked us, armored Zorathians with plasma rifles that could vaporize a man in a blink. I kept my hand on the blade, feeling its pulse sync with my heartbeat, weird, but comforting like an old friend. We entered a sanctum, a spherical room floating in 0G, orbs of light drifting like lazy fireflies. In the center hovered a holographic projection, a map of the galaxy dotted with red markers. The blade was forged by the ancients eons ago, Vexlar explained, his voice reverent. It unlocks the veil, a barrier between dimensions. Only gods, those with pure essence, can wield it without madness. I floated closer, the blade tugging me forward. Madness? Like what? Seeing pink elephants. He ignored my sarcasm. The last wielder was our emperor, who vanished into the veil, leaving us in eternal vigil. Now, you, a scavenger, hold it. This is no coincidence. As he spoke, the map zoomed in on Earth, a tiny blue speck. A red line connected it to Zorith Prime. Your world hides secrets. The ancients seeded it with artifacts. You found one, but there are more. More? My mind raced. That yard sale, the old lady mentioned her grandpa was a star wanderer, whatever that meant. Had he smuggled alien tech? And if so, why hide it in junk? But before I could ask, alarms blared. The orbs flickered red. Vexlar's face paled. Intruders. The shadow cult. They sensed the blade's awakening. None of us were prepared for what burst through the doors. Plasma fire erupted as black-clad figures poured in, their forms shifting like smoke. The shadow cult, Vexlar hissed. Heretics who believed the blade should destroy, not protect. Their leader, a hooded alien with tentacles writhing from his sleeves, pointed at me. The human holds the key. Seize him. Guards fired back, but the cultists phased through walls, their tech defying physics. I gripped the blade tighter, and suddenly time slowed. No, not slowed. I saw trajectories, weak points like augmented reality, overlays in my vision. Instinct took over. I swung the blade, and it extended, a beam of energy slicing through a cultist like butter. Vexlar stared in awe. The blade bonds with you. We fought our way out, the sanctum crumbling behind us. I dodged blasts, the blade guiding my moves like a dance partner. But as we escaped to the temple's spires, overlooking Zoritha's crimson seas, I felt a whisper in my mind. More power awaits, but at what cost? That question would haunt me across the stars. We fled to my ship, the rusty nomad, docked in the orbital bay. Vexlar insisted on coming, his faith shattered, yet ignited by my miracle. As we blasted off, pursued by cult fighters, he revealed more. The blade was part of a set, the Eternity Arsenal, scattered across worlds. Each piece amplified the others. United, they could open the veil fully, granting godlike power or unleashing horrors from beyond. Why me? I demanded, weaving through asteroid fields. Laser fire grazed our shields. The ancients designed it for hybrids, beings of flesh and fate. Humans with your chaotic emotions are closest to their ideal. Chaotic? Yeah, that tracked. Back on Earth, I'd lost everything. Family to the corporate wars, wife to a shuttle crash. Scavenging was my escape, numb routine in a broken galaxy. Now this blade stirred feelings I'd buried. Hope, fear, rage. We jumped to hyperspace, but the cult followed. Their ships were sleek shadows, phasing in and out. Vexlar chanted prayers, his claws etching symbols on the console. We must find the next piece, the Shield of Echoes, on the forsaken world of Kryn. Kryn, a dead planet riddled with ruins and radiation. Sounded fun, but as stars streaked by, the blade pulsed hotter, visions flashing. Ancient beings crafting worlds, then destroying them in jealousy. Were the gods just petty creators? What I saw next in those visions would change everything. Kryn loomed like a cracked skull, its atmosphere a toxic swirl of greens and grays. We suited up, me in my patched enviro suit, Vexlar in a shimmering force field. The blade hummed, pointing like a compass toward the equator. Landing was rough, storms battered the nomad. We trekked through canyons etched by eons of wind, ruins peeking from dunes like buried giants. The ancients fell here, Vexlar said, his voice muffled. A civil war over the arsenal. Skeletons, alien, elongated, littered the path, fused to tech that still sparked faintly. I felt the blades pull strengthen, but so did a dread in my gut. What if this power corrupted me? Like those old tales. We reached a pyramid, its apex glowing. Inside, traps awaited, laser grids collapsing floors. The blades sliced through them, but each victory drained me, whispers growing louder. You are worthy, but are you ready to lose yourself? At the core, the shield hovered on a pedestal, a disk of swirling energy. As I reached for it, shadows coalesced. The cult had arrived. Their leader, Calthor, unhood himself, revealing a face scarred by void exposure. The blade is mine, human. Join us or perish. Vexlar stood firm. Heresy. The gods decree balance. But Calthor laughed. The gods are dead. The ancients were us, evolved beings who transcended. The arsenal is for evolution, not worship. A fight ensued, blades clashing with energy bursts. I activated the shield, deflecting attacks, but Calthor revealed a twist. He held a fragment of the arsenal, the Gauntlet of Shadows, allowing him to manipulate darkness. We barely escaped, shield in hand. As we fled, the pyramid imploded, bearing secrets. But Calthor's words lingered. Were the gods just advanced aliens? And if so, what did that make me? That revelation was just the spark. With two pieces, the blade and shield synced, amplifying my senses. I saw probabilities, felt emotions from light years away. But it came with nightmares, visions of Earth burning, aliens weeping, me at the center, crowned in fire. Vexlar noticed my torment. In the nomad's dim cabin, he placed a claw on my shoulder. The power tests the soul. What do you fear, Jake Harlan? Becoming a monster, I admitted, losing who I am. He nodded, his eyes softening. Faith is not blind obedience. It's choosing light amid darkness. We headed to the next relic, the Crown of Whispers, on the bustling station of Nexus Hub, a neutral ground for galactic traders. There, amid neon lights and alien bazaars, I blended in, but the cult's spies lurked. Disguised, we navigated crowds. Tentacled merchants hawking neural implants, avian flyers bartering spices. The crown was auctioned in the black market, disguised as jewelry. Bidding was fierce. I used the blade's insight to outmaneuver rivals, but Calthor appeared, outbidding with stolen credits. Chaos erupted, fights, chases through zero-G corridors. I grabbed the crown mid-melee, its whispers flooding my mind. Secrets of the universe, temptations of power. Rule them all, it urged. Vexlar pulled me back. Resist. It's a test. We escaped, but not without loss. A cultist bomb wounded Vexlar, his biolum glowing dim. As I bandaged him, guilt hit. Why help me? I'm no savior. You lifted the blade, he whispered. That makes you chosen. But choice is yours. His words stirred something, purpose I'd lost. But the whispers grew, promising revenge for my past pains. None of us saw the betrayal coming. On our way to the final piece, the heart of eternity hidden in Earth's forbidden zones, the cult ambushed us. Calthor boarded the nomad, his gauntlet clashing with my arsenal. You fight for relics, he sneered. I fight for truth. The ancients created the veil to imprison threats. Us, their children, too powerful. Vexlar, weakened, revealed his secret. He was a hybrid, part ancient descendant. The faith is a lie to control the power. Betrayal stung. You knew. To protect it, he said. But now I see you're the bridge. In the clash, Calthor nearly won, but Vexlar sacrificed, channeling energy to boost me. He fell, whispering, forgive the deception. Rage fueled me. I defeated Calthor, but spared him mercy or weakness. With 3 pieces, we jumped to Earth. But the heart called from my past, that yard sale container held clues. Back in New Detroit's ruins, I dug through the old lady's estate. Hidden compartment, logs from her grandpa, an ancient explorer who hid the arsenal on Earth to prevent misuse. The heart was buried under the city, in a vault. As I retrieved it, the cult's fleet arrived, bombing the surface. The final assembly, blade, shield, crown, heart. Power surged, opening the veil, a rift of colors, realities bleeding. Inside, ancients' echoes. They weren't gods, but beings who ascended, leaving tools for worthy successors. But worthiness? Emotional balance, not logic. Calthor attacked one last time, merging with shadows. Power for the strong. I faced him, arsenal complete. But the whispers tempted. Destroy everything, rebuild in my image. My fears surfaced, loss, loneliness. Then Vexlar's memory, choice. I chose mercy, using the power to seal Calthor in the veil, not kill. The rift closed, arsenal dispersing to new guardians. Earth saved, but changed. Tech uplifted humanity subtly. As I stood amid ruins, Blade fading to normal, I whisper to the stars, not gods, just people trying. And in that quiet, I found peace, the true eternity.